joined atoms. Billions of one type of atom is called an element. Element is how to say element. I know that's in several of my pages, but it's because lots of people need to remember that one. It comes up lots. When two elements get together, they react, making a compound and heat. Compound. Magnesium is a very reactive metal element. Yes, that's the one that hopefully in school you've done the experiment where they gave you a piece of magnesium ribbon, and it's sort of like normal ribbon that you'd use for clothing and presents. But it's a sort of silver colour, maybe little grey flecks in the silver colour. And it's a very thin ribbon, only about 1/8 of an inch wide, about 4 centimetres wide. And you set light to it, it burns. It's one of the few that you can set light to and it burn. The oxygen and the magnesium get together to make magnesium oxide. Magnesium. Magnesium makes white magnesium. You get a white powder out of it that weighs more than the original magnesium that you burned because it's taken oxygen out of the air. Magnesium oxide compound when it reacts with oxygen. Copper is not a very reactive metal. No, good, because we use that for all our wires inside all of our electrical machines, and also the wires that bring in the electricity to the machine. Right on the inside, there's the pinky reddy colour metal called copper. Copper oxide, you can use gold as well, but it's more expensive. We use copper because it's not reactive, so, unlike iron, it doesn't rust. And it is a good conductor of electricity. It allows the electrons to flow. Copper oxide is a compound of copper reacted with oxygen. Ooh, should I put oxygen in there? Yeah. Just because you don't know when it's somebody's first time at learning a word. Silver is an unreactive metal element. Silver sulfide is the black compound you have to clean off of silver jewellery. Sulfide. Oh, sulfide is with an F in the USA. Different spellings. Aluminium, also different spelling. Americans call it aluminum because they miss out the second I. Aluminium is a metal element. Aluminium, which is a bit of a change because if you say I want 7 tons of aluminum, you say that to an English person, they'll send you aluminium oxide, which is a white powder and no use for making saucepans. Aluminium oxide stops further reaction when aluminium is scratched. Absolutely. Aluminium oxide is like a safety skin layer on every saucepan and every laptop you ever own. That's why it's not sparkly silver, like, silver is, or very, very shiny like gold and copper are, because the aluminium has reacted with oxygen to make aluminium oxide. Scratch it, it's shiny just for a little while, then the oxygen gets to it, making more protective aluminium oxide. Otherwise, aluminium, if it didn't do this, it would be a very reactive metal and no use for aeroplanes. Dihydrogen oxide is the compound H2O, called water. Dihydrogen, 2 hydrogens. Oxide with an oxygen. Dihydrogen. 1 chemistry word is an element. 2 chemistry words is a compound. Water is 1 normal word. Water is not an element, but water is a compound of 2 hydrogen atoms reacted with 1 oxygen atom. This should be up where compound is. I have to change that. Okay, I'm working on it. Beryllium oxide is 2 words. So it is a compound made by reacting beryllium with oxygen. Carbon is an element. Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide are the 2 compounds carbon makes with oxygen. Monoxide. Maybe I can leave that there. Carbon dioxide is each carbon atom compounded with 2 oxygen atoms, written CO2. Carbon monoxide is each carbon atom compounded with 1 oxygen atom. Compounds have fixed ratios. CO is 1 to 1, CO2 is 1 to 2, H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide, is 2 to 2, which also simplifies to 1 to 1. That's where the per comes from. Hydrogen peroxide. Every oxygen has got 1 hydrogen. Hydrogen peroxide. H2O, water, is 2 to 1. 1 to 1 is how to say, yes. Alloys and other mixtures do not have fixed ratios. Iron is an element. Iron oxide is rust. Ooh, earthquake! Oh, very sorry, my viewers. However many there are of you, I just earthquaked you. Iron with some carbon is the strong alloy mixture called steel. Fluorine is the most dangerously reactive non-metal. So the reactive compound sodium fluoride is in toothpaste. Fluoride ions help your teeth grow strong and healthy. Ions. Yes, fluorine, very dangerous. But when it's together with something else, like sodium fluoride, fluorine, nasty, nasty gas. Sodium fluoride, very safe. We think very safe. Unfortunately, all of the science to check whether it was safe was done by the people that had loads of fluorine they had to get rid of 50 years ago in America. There's been no evidence that it's dangerous for you. But then again, what happens 50 years after you have sodium fluoride toothpaste? Who knows? But there's a conspiracy theory. No, don't. It's only a conspiracy theory if it's not got any evidence. And so far there is no evidence that sodium fluoride is in any way bad for you. You can go and get some if you want. If you try to get some, if you want to make this from a conspiracy theory into a real theory, go and do the science, get the evidence, get like 100 other scientists to ratify your science. It takes many years for 100 or so people to make a theory accepted by science. Fluoride ions, it takes just one message on social media to make a conspiracy theory. That's why most people do that. Being a scientist is a lot harder. Fluoride ions help your teeth grow strong and healthy. Ions. Sodium and chlorine are the elements that react to make the salt compound in salt water called sodium chloride. Chlorine. Chlorine is mixed with water to make swimming pool water. Yes, it makes the water, kills the bacteria that might be in your swimming pool. Seawater can have more salt or less salt, so it is a mixture of the compounds water and sodium chloride. A substance that contains only one type of atom is called an element. These are metal elements. Potassium, sodium, lithium, magnesium, aluminium, nickel, mercury, copper, silver and gold. From the most reactive to the least reactive. These ones are nice and shiny, nice shiny mercury. These ones have got oxide coating, so they're not so shiny. These ones are so dangerous, they react in air. This one burns. This one, put it in water, whizzes around, fire, fire, fire. There are non-metal elements. Fluorine, most dangerous one, most reactive. Oxygen, second most dangerous, second most reactive. Yeah, ask somebody how dangerous it is when their house is burning down. Oxygen is dangerous, but it's what keeps us alive, so we need it. Chlorine, the gas that was used by the Germans in the First World War to gas the British and probably the French and the Americans as well. Carbon, the black stuff in graphite, and also diamonds are 100% carbon. That's an allotrope. Hydrogen. Phew. All metals let heat and electricity flow. They are conductors. Ooh, did I put that word in there? Don't think I did. Metal mixtures of compounds, of elements and compounds. Air. Yes, there's H2O in air, humidity, that's a compound. And there's oxygen, element, nitrogen, element, argon, element, CO2, much less than 1%, but compound. Yes, air has got elements and compounds. Salt, water. Sodium chloride is a compound. The H2O is a compound. That's just a mixture of compounds. Swimming. Pool, water. You've got the element chlorine in there with the H2O. Plants. Yes, plants are mixtures of lots and lots of different compounds mostly. Animals. These are compounds. So they have a fixed ratio. Water, H2O, 2 hydrogens to every oxygen. Written H2O. Sodium chloride compound is 1-to-1 sodium to chlorine. Written NaCl. Carbon monoxide is 1-to-1 CO. Carbon dioxide is 1-to-2 CO2. Mixtures do not have a fixed ratio. Compounds are always 2 chemistry words. Yeah, apart from like water, because it's a common word. It should be called dihydrogen oxide. Compounds are. Let's get rid of the word always, because it's not true in the case of the word water. 2 pounds. Cool! Did you spot the one mistake I made on purpose? The spelling mistake. Write me a message if you spotted it. Press my picture to get more of my videos. Press like, press subscribe,